Hello Pisces, welcome to your reading for January. This is for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus. Please make sure you check all your placements to get a clear picture of what's going on for you at this time. As always, this is a general reading. It may or may not resonate for all of you. Please take the bits that do resonate and leave the rest behind for somebody else. I am primarily a love reader. That's what I'm going to focus on. If anything else pops up, I will address it, of course. Towards the end of the reading, I will be rolling dice to get some initials and sun signs and angel numbers for you. So make sure you stick around for that. This deck is impossible to shuffle. There is a temple next door. You will hear a bell periodically. I tried to wake up super early to record for you, but I just couldn't. Alrighty, we have the Great Work. Brand new deck for me. I will have to refer to the book. But Kim Krans strikes again. And we have Iron. Oh, that is very unlike Pisces energy. This is Mars through and through. Now, this is an interesting combination. The Great Work talks about basically the main keywords here are one day at a time, right? Beginning something, even though if you're an artist, this is drawing a single line. If you're a poet, writing the first word. If you're in construction, putting down the first brick, right? It's about divine work, to say the least. Divine work that happens internally most of the time. If anyone says that they're working on their magnum opus, they're most likely not. Because it happens subconsciously, almost, right? It's a collaboration with the divine. It is you working on your higher self, you creating a masterpiece within your own psyche. It's interesting how we have iron right next to the Great Work, because we have iron within our bloodstreams. I feel the masterpiece that you're creating now, Pisces, is you. There is something here about dedication, about almost stoicism. There's a surety here about which path you want to follow, about who you want to be known as, about how you look at yourself even, right? There's something about also you being able to withstand great pressure, like iron can, right? I feel like a lot of us water signs, I'm saying us because I'm a Cancer sun and a Pisces moon, a lot of us water signs have been withstanding great pressure, at least over the last 4 years. And that pressure hasn't, melted us into oblivion. It's pressurized us into diamonds. It's created those masterpieces that we can be proud of within ourselves, right? Iron can also be associated with Mars, right? Aries energy. And Mars is the planet of war and destruction. I don't want you to switch archetypes so quickly. I'd rather you integrate them. It's not one or the other. The softness in the Great Work, the masterpiece that the divine is creating with you, and the harshness of iron, if they are used separately, they can be destructive. But if they're used in amalgamation, in collaboration, you can create magic. With Ferrum, with iron, I almost feel that there may have been times when you were tempted to lash out, right? All the pressure that has been put on you, you may have been tempted to lash out. But I feel like you didn't. You internalized that pressure. And this, for me personally, is very interesting because my Mars is in Pisces, right? And when I try and collaborate both of these energies, that's exactly what I think of. A lot of you may have Mars in Pisces. This is us being unable to lash out, no matter what we do, right? Even if you don't have that placement. There's an internalization of pressure that is creating beauty inside and out. Beautiful energy. Okay. So we're going to use two decks today. We're using the tarot of the light and the shadow. I'm going to use the shadow deck to see what it is that we must leave behind starting this new year, and the light deck to see what it is that we must embrace. The Page of Wands starting off the reading. The Empress, Cancer had the same card in shadow. The Five of Swords, Cancer had the same card again. If you have heavy Cancer placements, I would go watch that reading. The High Priestess, that's you. The Four of Pentacles. The Ace of Swords. Bottom of the deck, we have the Seven of Cups. Pisces. I feel like a lot of you, at least in the past, were not going deep enough within yourselves. And that can be a crime for a Pisces, because you are depth. You are the definition of depth. With the High Priestess and the Page of Wands, these are very different archetypes. Imagine a crone, right? A very wise old woman who's seen lifetimes, who has lifetimes of experience. And imagine a little child playing with sticks. Very different energies, right? I'm not saying you have to be one or the other, but like your archetypes, your oracle cards, there has to be a collaboration between that higher self and your inner child. And I feel like that is this duality almost, or this contrast, is something that you are willing to put to bed. It's not going to be one or the other. It's going to be both. And that's what makes you emotionally mature. That's what creates empathy, understanding, and a heightened intuition. Because you're thinking like a 5-year-old as well as a 95-year-old. So you're engaging with all possibilities. That creates wisdom more than anything else. You will hear a lot of noise. My dogs are awake and they're creating chaos. All right, we have the Empress with the Four of Pentacles. Like I was telling Cancer, the Empress in shadow can be somebody who doesn't see themselves in the best light, who doesn't realize their worth, who doesn't realize what they deserve, right? And the Four of Pentacles can be a card of holding back. There's a shift in your self-concept that needs to come about now, right? This could be as simple as, I'll give you a personal example. Whenever I'm invited out, right, I need to take a minute to analyze who's going to be there before I choose my outfit. Or how are they going to perceive me? Or what are they going to think? Will they like what I'm wearing? It's a very normal thing for most of us to do, right? But then you have to take a step back and ask yourself, what do you want to wear? What makes you feel good? It's a very 3D example that I'm giving you, but I hope you understand what I mean. This is not about what other people think. This is about what you believe, what you feel good in. A relationship. Do you feel good in that relationship, or are you just busy mothering or fathering somebody in a connection? Water signs are famous for that. We take projects and we try to fix them, right? It's time to leave that concept behind. It's time to stop falling in love with potential. I think everything needs to be seen very clearly, and I'm getting that with the Five and the Ace of Swords as well. The Five of Swords is short-sightedness, right? And the Ace of Swords in shadow talks about anything but the truth. Where have you been lying to yourself, Pisces? Because I feel like there's a delusion here. There are rose-colored glasses here that some of you may be wearing about what you think you deserve. And it's completely wrong. I don't know if this is too explicit to share on YouTube, but I'm gonna try nonetheless. There's this exercise that a spiritual teacher asked me to do periodically. and I do it, right? It can be a little uncomfortable, but she asked me to strip down, butt naked, right? And look at myself in a long-standing mirror and analyze, not in a bad way, analyze every single part of me. And instead of picking at the faults, picking at the wrinkles, picking at the cellulite, picking at the moles, whatever, you thank the divine or the creator or God or the universe for every single thing that you have been blessed with. Because the more grateful you are, the more you'll be given, and the more appreciative you will be of everything that you have been blessed with. That leads to a very happy and content life. It can be easy for us to moan and complain about things that are going wrong. But do we ever think about the things that are going right? I don't know why I wanted to mention that. But there are rose-colored glasses here that you could be wearing, either about you, your self-concept, your body, your mind, or a relationship or a career, right? You may be telling yourselves that, oh, this is fine for me, I deserve this, I'm not going to find anyone better than this. Have you seen me? Bullshit. Change your self-concept. This delusion, this Seven of Cups, this confusion that you may have placed within your own psyche needs to be dissolved, replaced with clear, sharp truth. I got a little emotional there. All right, let's get your light cards and see what is it that we are embracing at this time. The Six of Swords, moving on to calmer waters. Some of you are literally wanting to move physically, move countries, move homes, move a job, move a career. And if that's the case, then the cards are asking you to go for it. So I feel like you have the will and the strength to do so. We have the Six of Wands. A lot of minor arcana, but I really like this minor arcana. The Six of Wands is a card of success and victory and being seen for who you truly are. Maybe in that mirror that we were talking about, and consequently by other people, because we are mirrors, right? The way we perceive ourselves is how others perceive us. And then we have the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands can have a negative connotation, right? It can be a negative card, but since we are looking at just the light here, this deck takes on a completely different meaning. The Seven of Wands can be holding on to your beliefs, holding on to your ideals and your philosophy, not letting anybody else change your mind as to how you feel about something, how you feel about yourself, right? It can be a card of defense, but it can also be a card of surety. It can be a card of almost iron, right? That makes sense. Iron is sure of itself. Iron doesn't need permission from any other metal to be who it is. Iron is in our bloodstream. Iron is in the center of the earth. There's a strength here. Again, minor arcana, but my goodness, it's carrying such a powerful energy. It's almost like this is an anchor. Think of a large, huge, iron, heavy anchor. From this Seven of Cups, from this confusion of floating around, truly anchoring yourself somewhere. Again, this could be a new home for some of you. It could be a new relationship. It could be a new job. But most importantly, Pisces, it could be a new self-concept. Truly anchoring yourself into who you actually are, not who you thought you were. Actually thinking of yourself as that great work. The Seven. How many sevens do we have? 1, 2, and 3. Seven of Pentacles. Investing. I suddenly got investing in people, places, and situations you will not feel the need to run away from. Right? I know that the only thing constant in life is change, But sometimes having fewer variables can be very good for the brain. I feel like a lot of you may have had too many variables in your life. It's time to start picking a few constants, right? This doesn't have to mean a relationship particularly. It could be anything. It could be friendships. It could be investing in people you know are never going anywhere, right? Because life comes with its challenges, regardless of who we're connecting with. At least the people in our life shouldn't move around too much. You know what I mean? At least energetically. We have the Page of Wands. No, the Page of Pentacles, pardon me, Freudian slip. I was looking at the Page of Wands right here. The Page of Pentacles with the Six of Wands. I'm going to get one more card here. The High Priestess. I laughed because I was trying to get one more card in the same pile for Cancer, and they got the High Priestess as well. And they had the Nine of Cups. Oh my goodness, some of you have heavy Cancer placements, I have to say. They got the Nine of Cups as well. Interesting. This, okay, if I had to look at the shadow aspect of this, it could translate to my way or the highway. Okay? But I don't think you're doing that here. There's a surety here that I'm absolutely loving, Pisces. A surety that was missing earlier. Right? After everything that we have collectively been through, I feel like you have very carefully mastered the art of life. Plain and simple. You have mastered how to live. And once you reach that point, you don't have to apologize for the decisions you're making. I feel like the decisions that you're making here, we did talk about the 5-year-old and the 95-year-old, right? The 95-year-old is showing up here, but so is that 5-year-old. The Page of Pentacles is a child, again, very much like the Page of Wands. That integration here is what is going to help you celebrate yourself. I absolutely love this reading. There's a balance here that is very difficult to find in a water sign reading. Do you see the Four of Pentacles again? Where to hold back and where to give. The Seven of Wands and the Four of Pentacles is a very interesting combination because it talks about holding back instead of defending yourself, right? It's about picking your battles. There are some people who are just not created to be understanding. There are some people who put their guard up and shut their ears to any kind of reason. You may be barking up the wrong tree, Pisces, for some of you, right? You may be trying to explain a concept to somebody and it's meeting dead ears, right? Know where to hold back the explanation of your beliefs and know where to give. Just because it's being met with closed ears, it doesn't mean that your beliefs are void, right? They're just being met with people who may be using iron in the wrong way. We have the Chariot with the Queen of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles. Beautiful. You have a vision for the future. You have a vision for your happily ever after, and this could mean anything. This could be a bucket load of money. This could be a happy home, happy family. It could be anything. But there's a sense of direction here with the Chariot and the Queen of Swords that is very unapologetic. I feel like a lot of you have weeded out the garden successfully. Why I say that is because I see those roses right here, right? You know exactly where the thorns are. You know exactly where the petals are. And it's almost like a landmine. Like you know the landmine to the T, right? You know it by heart. You know every step. So you're never going to accidentally step on a bomb. That's the feeling I'm getting here. There's a surety, there's an intelligence here that cannot be ignored. This was supposed to be a love reading, but it may as well be. Because the longest relationship we've ever been in is the one with ourselves, right? I feel like you're truly understanding how to love yourself first with that Empress in shadow, right? Regardless of gender. A man can carry Empress energy. We all have feminine and masculine within us. So that self-concept now is changing and I absolutely love it. All right, let's get you some dice. I wish I had left myself a little more space on this table. All right, we have Scorpio. You could be dealing with a Scorpio. You could have Scorpio heavily in your chart. Doesn't have to be. But Pluto went direct recently in December. And Pluto is also making a generational shift from Capricorn to Aquarius in 2024. There's a little bit of retrograding happening, so it's going to move back and forth. But this is happening after 15 years. So check where Capricorn is in your chart. If you were feeling any kind of intense, heavy transformation in that sector of your birth chart, the spotlight almost on that sector is going to be diminished, right? There's going to be a sigh of relief. Personally, Pluto is in my 10th house, right, in Capricorn. And well, my career has been a little all over the place. See where Capricorn is, see where Pluto is, and see where Aquarius is. And you'll be able to understand how Pluto is going to be making a difference. Pluto is the planet of death and rebirth, right? So whatever intense transformations have been happening in any area of your life, it doesn't matter if you can study your birth chart or not, there's going to be a sigh of relief, okay? Then we have the number 6. If you have been seeing 666 a lot, this talks about reflection. It's time to wake up to your higher spiritual path. The High Priestess twice is telling me just that. It's time to come into your own, Pisces. You are the High Priestess, right? And then we have Neptune. Is that Neptune? I think it is. I always mess this up. Neptune, well, it's the rose-colored glasses, and it is your modern ruler. Your traditional ruler is Jupiter, which is moving direct very soon as well. But Neptune can talk about rose-colored glasses. It can talk about confusion lifting, right? I feel like the only person who has a right to confuse you is you yourself, Pisces. As my moon is in Pisces, we can be confused a lot. But that's our decision to make, right? Nobody else's. Don't let anybody else put you in a loop. But yeah, did I mention you could have Scorpio heavily in your chart? You could be dealing with someone who's a Scorpio. But love can get deep and dark and mysterious and a little intense. And if anyone can handle that, Pisces, it is you. All right, that was a very strange shake of the dice. We have the letters D, M, F, L, A, Y, and G. These could be your initials. These could be the initials of the people you're dealing with. Doesn't have to be. Just a special mention for those of you who've seen your initials here today. All right, Pisces, that was it. I hope this helped. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.